Thinking of the possibility of them creating their own weapons, Claire thought about what type they should make. The swords that came to mind didn't feel it would be as effective as their rifles, which would make crafting a sword become worthless. "We are finished!" Hannah cheered as she dumped the last of the crushed coke into the container. Claire felt relieved, knowing that they didn't need to do any more of that for a while. Until the next batch is finished, we can just focus on making iron and steel. Hannah pushed the container into the other room to where the blast furnace for the iron was located. Compared to making the coke, Claire felt nervous about going through the process of making iron from the ores. "I get the feeling that our first try is going to go awful," Claire said with little confidence. Hannah nodded as she prepared the furnace. Claire grabbed the container full of ores and pushed it into the area with the furnace as Hannah got things ready. Going through and getting the furnace took some time as they followed the directions given by Dragny. She'd explained how the furnace was designed to blast air into the chamber to raise the temperature to the point where the chemical reactions would occur. Thinking of the explanation, Claire remembered when she asked if they could just dump the ore into the furnace. "I just thought that the iron would melt out of the ores," she chuckled to herself. Grabbing some bowls and another tool, she began shoveling the ores into the bowls. After filling them up, she took the heavy steel mallet and crushed the ores. Compared to the coke, smashing the ore was harder due to the embedded iron inside mixed with other impurities. Not only was the mallet heavier, but the ores needed more strength to be broken apart. Claire took deep breaths before slamming the tool into the strong bowl designed to withstand the force. With Hannah dealing with the furnace, Claire had to stop every now and then to use a special device that attracted the iron and release it. It was basically a powerful magnet inside of a plastic cup. When the iron was attracted to the magnet, Claire moved to a large container where the iron pieces would be collected. To get the iron separated from the magnet, all she had to do was pull the magnet away from the cup and the iron would fall. It's surprising how sometimes the most low-tech solutions are often the best. Claire laughed to herself, thinking how she initially thought they'd be using some type of fancy electromagnet to collect the iron. Claire remembered when she asked if that was the case, and Dragny had given her a strange look, as though asking why they'd bother going through so much work. Going through and crushing the ore to separate the iron from as much impurities as possible, she'd occasionally check up with Hannah about the furnace. Since it was their first time using the furnace without Dragny's supervision, the process was taking a little bit more time as Hannah went through the various steps. "Now, we just need to dump in the charge," Hannah informed Claire. "Continue to grind the ores," Claire said. "If you're able, why don't you come and help me out with this then?" Instead of doing the same thing she did when Claire was grinding the coke, Hannah went to grab herself some bowls and the relevant tools to begin the same thing that Claire was doing at the moment. "With the two of us, I think we should be able to get done a lot faster." Hannah grinned as she put the ore into the bowls. "A part of me thinks we'll need to invite more people in the future to do this part," Claire sighed. Hannah nodded. "But that'll be when we upgrade to a bigger workshop. At the moment, we don't even have the skills to properly make equipment. I get the feeling we'll be making coke, iron, and steel for a while, before we can even think about inviting more people to help us."